Hi, good morning, good evening, everybody. My name is Ashpreet Kaur. I am a PhD student at University of Florida. My research is in zero waste. And today we are gathered here to talk about women in STEM. I would like to call my co-anchor, Sanjana, to introduce herself now.
Yeah, namaste everyone. Hi, I'm Sanjana Kunshrestha. I did my master's in computer information system from DePaul University, Chicago, and currently I'm working in United Health Group as engineering specialist, and I'm a founder of Data Science Mastery, which is an NGO focusing on mentorship programs, data science course, and interview preparation for Indian students and all other are also invited. Thank you.
So today we are celebrating Women's Day and we have an amazing guest amongst ourselves, Madam Rashmi Rajashekar. She is a recipient of Presidential Award, also known as Rashtrapati Award for working in the field of literature, women empowerment and girl education. And she received this award directly from the President of India. She is also a recipient of Excellence Achiever Award for contribution in health tech field. Other than this, she has been awarded by Worcester, Massachusetts for her contribution and leadership in the field of STEM. So I would like to call upon Madam Rashmi Rajashekar to please give a little introduction about yourself and anything that you would like to share.
Hi, good morning, good evening. Hi, Sanjana and Ashpreet. Thank you for the introduction. And myself, I'm Rashmi from India. So I have done my computer science engineering from India and masters in USA. And currently I'm working as digital sales hub, technical product management with T-Mobile. And I'm also been working with the STEM entrepreneur lead for the women in STEM and technology and entrepreneurship. And I've also been working since 2006 for girl education and empowering the women in the work and empowering them to become successful women entrepreneurs in small business. That's a brief introduction about myself. Yeah. So. Uh, so currently we are helping to make sure we help and coach the women and the girls in the STEM field.
Okay, thank you so much for your inspiring story. So here we have some questions to discuss with you. So can you share what are some challenges you have faced while growing as an international STEM lead?
Oh, yeah. So growing as a girl in the STEM field was really challenging because when I started my career in 2004 as an engineer from back in India, so I really didn't know whom to approach, and if I stuck anywhere, like whom I'm supposed to approach. And every time the technology gets changed and we have to revamp, and we have to be very competitive in skills in terms of how encouragingly how successfully we are completing the project. So the some of the places, like whenever like kind of a mentorship or a coaching, so I honestly had a very difficult path in terms of growing up. If I have any kind of innovative ideas or innovative features, eureka ideas, so whom to approach and what to do, how do I empower my time during after my internal or semester exams, so how do I gather and work with the like-minded people. So these are the challenges I literally had during my studies. Yeah. And that's one of the reason why I want to I exactly know what are the challenges we face. I at least come from a small town, a village. My father is a farmer, where like growing up, we literally didn't had that connect of meeting people and to what is next. Okay, I want to become a doctor, I want to become an engineer. What are the exams I need to take? How is the path code? What is the deadline to apply for an applications? What are the scholarships and benefits? So I literally didn't had these kind of information or somebody to mentor or somebody to guide me. So this is pretty much challenges I faced.
Great. Thank you very much for sharing your experiences. So, based off of what you just said, I would like to know what will be your advice to motivate the women who want to pursue this STEM field, and why do you think that this issue needs to be addressed in the field of STEM, especially in the women sector?
Mm, yeah, the challenges that women facing are literally unheard. Sometimes what happened, we are in a society where literally 28% of the women are in STEM. So where are the rest of the women? So that we can still see that a lot of girls are coming into STEM, and a lot of women are, the dropping at least after 5 years of down the line. So there's a leakage bucket that we are facing it. So where do we focus? So there is a challenge for women to sustain and to become a successful in the STEM, in the science and technology field, because studies say that after 5 years, 5 consecutive years, it is more likely for a woman to drop out from the STEM. And still we see a lot of women coming into a lot of science, technology, data science, for these kind of roles. But still we have to take care of these the women who are trying to churn out of from this STEM. We have to create the supportive system. So there is definitely a challenges. I can see that there is no gender equality. For example, when I go for the conferences or meeting, so at least I hardly see few women's. So last time when I went for a conference and the science technology exhibition, I and my one of my female colleagues, so only we two were there. I mean, the rest of the representatives were the men. So, well, I'm not talking about men dominance, though there is. All I'm trying to talk about is empowering women to sustain in their fields and to support them and to create a like-minded community to back up them so that they grow to prove themselves in the STEM leads. So there are challenges. So how do we address these kind of challenges? So well, we so that is one of the main concern and thought process why I started doing this WTech, like women in technology and entrepreneurs, start from 2006 when I was studying my engineering in India. Well, I used to go for go to schools and colleges, meet students, talk to them and things like that. So I used to ask them to write their problems without their names in the notebooks, and then we used to collect them without the names. We used to shuffle them, and I used to answer them out of my experience. Sometimes they used to say, I'm not able to, what is, I want to become this, what is the next steps and things like that, scholarships and availability opportunities and fellowships. So I used to go address and then take them for the for their I was addressing their problems. So well, how do we address these through opportunities? So last week we conducted women engineers in Harvard, so people who code. Out of that, we also had we selected nearly 10 girls from the we selected for the internship programs which we will be conducting from March. So we have certain programs for women, especially for women, to guide them and and to get them to the job and things like that. So also challenge that, one of the challenges, let me go back to challenges, is that whatever we have studied is not aligned with whatever we are working, right? So at least we have studied like thousands of lines, like COBOL, like the microstrategies and mainframes. There are so many things we have learned. At least I'm not even using that now. I mean, there are outdated syllabus in the education system which needs to revamp to encourage them and to make it more realistic, to the STEM, for the women and for the education system. And hopping back to opportunities again, we do from the Aviant, we've been conducting every year we are conducting a set of girls for the internship. We are mentoring them free. we are coaching them for free 3 months, wherein all the like industry leaders and expertise will come and guide them, address them. They give them up problem statements to solve them and approach and things like that. So we've been doing a lot of mentorship program. And similarly, we need to make sure we join to the communities. Like when I was doing my engineering, I joined like Indian Society of Technical Education, where I was driving all the curricular activities and technical activities from my college as a vice president. So we also have Indian Society Technical Education, we have American Association for STEM and Women's, we have Harvard Women Engineers, we have a Clark University Women Group. So likewise, we have Florida, Chicago. We have a women community in every states, and we have to make sure that we join them. We try to have our the role models so that we look up for them. So the one of the common mistake we do is that we always look up for CEOs, or the as a role model. So we need to make sure, as the person who are above us, like 2 3 steps above us, as a role model, so that we know how they are growing, we know how the path curve, how you can reach to that level. So you have to be connected in the social medias, or LinkedIn is a very good platform, so that they can be connected, they can see the events are happening, what are the programs availabilities and things like that. I'm also creating a application for the especially for the women, where we have the mobile application. So whoever is join, we would be facilitating them with the one-on-one internship, and also since we have a good group of connectivity, we also helping them for the jobs. So these are some of the initiatives which I'm trying to do from 2006, and most of them I've been trying to do successfully.
So moving ahead, so we had one question about like how do you feel this gender equality can be achieved in future? Like if we talk about different workplaces and all, I know people are taking initiative in increasing the, getting more women in like technical departments and all. So what's your thought on it?
Oh yeah, so to be uh, to be really honest, the gender equality is not still being met. As you said, uh, we can have men being very supportive system for women, so that we have enough opportunities. For example, if you set forth that for the conference we need 2 women and 2 boys, obviously we will bound to send them 2 women and 2 boys, right? If you just say that 4 representatives, there might be a chance that they will send all men, or 3 men or 1 woman. It's like there's no parity in the equation. So we should bring that kind of changes in a system. So in fact, in all the opportunities, so that we will have an equal opportunities. So for the women, to take these opportunities, it has to come in a STEM workforce, it has to come in education system, and it has to come in application process and selection criteria. So I think it has to come from there, so that everybody will bound to follow that. And we, being a womanhood, we have to make sure we empower them, we kind of help them to go to a next role. What are the certifications available, what are the hindrance? So we have to encourage one another. Uh, and also being a gender, being a, like it's not like always we talk about women, it's also about a men responsibility to make women empower. So they have to give us some kind of opportunities, and make sure they involve girls, they involve women in all the researches and publications or a project. So they have to inclusive of women, they have to do anything that they have to do. So so that at least in future we'll at least have a gender equality of 50-50%, which we are now having like 28 to 29%, which is a very low number.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I would like to move on to a little, um, not technical, but something that our students might be interested in knowing. So, as you are also an international student, and especially like being a female, um, it is difficult to navigate all the new things that you see in a different country, and how do you go about finding jobs and internships. So would you like to share or list any resources for the international community, and especially women, that can help them in finding like jobs, or help them in their startups or internships in the field of STEM in the States?
Um, yes, Ashpreet, absolutely. Because when we at least start our career in USA, at least for the first year, until we complete 2 semester, will not be allowed to do the internship. So until we complete 2 consecutive semester for the first masters. So when you go for the second year, you are eligible for internship. So that's when you can keep track of all your social security numbers and then the campus job. So while you're studying itself, make sure your studies and your passion you should stitch together, like it has to go hand in hand. For example, if you are interested to become a business analyst or data engineer, you should try and look for those opportunities in your in your colleges, being an international student. Search where you can have a like-minded people in your community, or join one community if it is needed. And make sure you apply for these internship. Keep your CVs ready, stitch your CVs, and make sure you do aligned intern projects related to that, and make sure you basically have all your projects, the cover letters ready according to the requirements, and start applying for that. And like I just mentioned, we have the AAS, we have WWA, we have AAIS, and we also have a Harvard women engineers group. So in these groups, what happens is we call out for the career IT fairs, where these are specially dedicated for girls education, or girls getting internship or a STEM projects. So if you come, like we also have a women in product group across the states, across the world, so anybody can join. So like if you can join all this, you'll get to know so now here you're only competing with among girls, and it's easy for you to get the internship and projects. So make sure you work towards it. Make sure you have your LinkedIn bio, or you have your projects, CV, resumes, and social security numbers, everything applied and set ready, so that you are applying for the projects as a curriculum activities to finish your masters.
Great, that's really great advice for the students, and I think every international student faces this issue. um,
Yeah, that's correct. I think the one common mistakes that we are doing it is we are applying when the time comes. Okay, now let's say that from today you're eligible. We are not waiting until a previous week or till today to eligible. So you have to start working from the first semester itself to have to avail the internship, and see, target what are the companies you want to do internship and what are the requirements, and see if you have any alumni connected to that, and see if you have any reference in your LinkedIn, and try to connect these people and try to have exhibit your interest and skills, and say that you've done a related project for this, and start following a lot of HR recruiters, and try to be a part of these women communities, so that you have a special care on your internships and the STEM programs and about the projects.
yeah, right, great. So I'm sure you might have addressed this earlier, but like being an entrepreneur and leader in the field of STEM, what do you think there are places that still can be explored, especially by women? What do you think the fields or the jobs that haven't seen a lot of women involvement yet?
Yeah, so it's a good question. There are still women who needs to fill in the places. So we are just saying that there are like 50% of equality, but still we see that there is a lot of places where we lag of mentors. We need women mentors a lot. We need a lot of mentors available, availability, because people are busy, people don't have time, people of course I agree with that. So why are we specially talking about women is because uh, they definitely undergo a lot of biological changes. They have the family responsibility. They need to give birth to the kid. They have a work-life balance. There's so many things, challenges that women undergo, and that's the reason why we need to talk about women in STEM and empowering her to make her, sustainable and to grow in that particular area. Well, we are not asking everybody to come into STEM. So the intention is not that. So we are only empowering people who are interested and not, and not able to survive, and they are quitting because of just not having mentors or not having supporting systems, and the scarcity, like, STEM. Yes, it's very. So a lot of people don't join STEM because they feel it is only for a competitive, highly competitive skills, and they don't have particular knowledge about it. But we have to encourage them so that with the right set of attitude and employee ethnicity and the hard work, they can also come into STEM and they can achieve their the goals. uh, Also, so in this direction, if we try to stitch all our interest and alignment, I think we should be able to achieve this. Also, being a entrepreneurial lead, we would be able to achieve these kind of the facilities for women.
Okay, yeah. So, as you discuss about challenges and all, so can you also share some of your personal experiences you have faced in being in this field, and how did you tackle with that?
Yeah, so coming back to being an international student in USA, well, I did face the challenges. Like initially, everything is education system is different, and the place where we demographic is challenges. And when it comes to my technology skills, yes, there was a little. Ups and downs when I started my career, but still I took the control. I started identifying my pitfalls and make sure I don't repeat the same mistakes, and make sure I be to it. For example, when I in the first semester when I was submitting my assignments, so it was not, first of all, I joined late for masters, and then when I was submitting those papers, it was not aligned to the US structure of education study. So I had to unlearn some of the things where I was following the old patterns or legacy. So I need to unlearn and learn new things to make sure it is aligned with my with the projects, and also about the technology that some of the technology I need to learn new. For example, it could be artificial intelligence, it could be IoTs or robotics. So these are the new things that I'm learning. So I had to put an additional efforts to make sure I study it. So, well, I did it in this way that I created a small group of like-minded people. So we started studying in a group studies. We started having our professors as a mentor so that we go to them at every stage where we stuck. So that really made us helpful, and we also started having a clubs, especially for women in education, and women in STEM, and American Association for IT. So we started connecting with both the demographies so that we know we have the parity in both the level of education, and we were able to get a lot of support from these communities, small communities, to come across. And I also met a lot of my seniors who come from the same background, and I try to hear from them what problems they faced and how did they resolve. So I started doing a lot of networking, so that really helped me to to avoid a lot of mistakes, at least, that I would have done otherwise.
I hear you talk about a couple of organizations that you have been a part of. Could you like name any major organizations that maybe Indian students can join in the field of STEM, or especially for women? Like, what are these organizations that we can be a part of? Any like big names that you want to give?
Mm, well, some of the organization I'm being an integral part of it is from the startup company Avrient. So they do a lot of mentoring and coaching from the women in technology. And we also have WEA for women entrepreneurs and achievers. We also have a STEM Win Women. We also have a Harvard We Code, where these are the fellowships and the scholarships, which happens to be like every year. So you can look forward these in your career. So when do you apply and things like that. Also, if you're interested to publish any of your research and publications. You also have a research publication from it's American Associations for Women University. We also have Women in STEM, STEM Women's. So these are 4 5 organizations that I can list off for joining this. Yeah.
That is good to know. I think, um, especially like being a PhD student, I'm definitely looking for, funding. So it's good to know.
Yeah.
Do you have any like piece of advice for all the women, especially on the occasion of International Women's Day? Anything that you would want to share with them?
Yeah. So you as a woman, they need to make sure they start their career early in life. So then they have to drill down and narrow down their interest. They have to stitch their passion and the interest together. For example, if you want to become like science, technology, engineering, or mathematics, or any of these, why like any of this, so you should know where do you have to start your career from. So parents have to be encourage them to align with their particular courses. For example, now I've done my engineering in computer science, but when I was studying, I took like PCMB, wherein I studied physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology, and in biology, zoology, and botany, which is not and aligned. But that time we didn't know, because my father, like those days, like back in 2002, we never knew what needs to be done, what needs. So we spend a lot of time in learning which is not aligned to what do you want to become. For example, even when you study, you should make sure you join those, you take those particular subjects, you take those particular courses and colleges. So sit down and have your goal, have a long term goal, have a short term goal, do a reverse engineering, see what is that challenges to reach there. Is it a financial problem, or is it a skilled problem? If it is skilled, try to work on those, try to do some of the certifications, try to achieve, try to meet your friends, colleagues, and professors and teachers. Everybody would not have a skill by birth. So you can also work on your academic progression, and meet people, talk to them, listen to their problems, and see how they come across. And like developing their a long-term goal, and having a mentors and coach is very important. So I see that they have to also mentor other students. For example, if you are a PhD student, you might as well um, coach or mentor your previous semester students, so you exactly know, you've because you've traveled that path, right? So uh, at the same time, when you seek for mentorship, make sure you also mentor other girls, other women, or empower who is at your home, who's at your neighbors, and have your aligned technical skills, and see where you want to grow. So don't be scared, be bold to make mistakes and try to come across that, and be very see what you want to do. Let this challenges not become obstacles not to go there. So you are very powerful than you ever think of. So make sure you take the facilities around you, and seek for a supporting system. It's always good to seek for it, go out of your boundaries and talk to people and seek for, and also make sure you be a part of some of the communities where you where you join your sisterhood, and help your womanhood. And also make sure what we give back to society, right? At least in my career, even though I'm working, so I always make sure that at least 1 hour I keep it away, to either to reply my students or my guest, or my try to conduct sessions, webinars, talk to people from the different states and countries, see what their problem, how do I address, how do I, even if I cannot address their problem, I see to it how do I connect to the right people, so that they get some help. So that's the so with this, I think I would ask them to be bold, and try to seek for the support system, and being empowered, and make sure you empower other girls, and empower other women who are around you.
I think it's a great piece of advice, and I personally have been very lucky to have women mentors in my field who have been guiding me, research or in general like life issues. And Rashmi is also, she has been a great resource. I have been talking to her about some internships, so it's good to know, and it's good to connect with other women who help each other to grow. Now I would like to invite Sanjana. No, before I do that, do you have any last piece of um, anything that you want to share? Because I think we're done with the questions. So anything that you think might have left, if you would want to share.
Um, Well, I strongly believe that unless you seek for it, you will not get anything. So you have to fight for yourself. You have to be a voice for your opportunities, and you are whatever you want to do in your STEM field. If you are interested, you should be the one who voice out for it. So we should definitely, as as an entire womanhood, we should definitely seek out for more facilities, and also leaking bucket of dropping out women. We have to sustain them, support them. We have to encourage more girls coming into. We have to have more, the equal parity of ratios in terms of all the workforce and the education system. I think I take this opportunity to thank Ashpreet, Sanchana, and Embassy of India, and the entire students and the entire womanhood. Wishing a very happy International Women's Day. You are really powerful than you ever think of, and make the best use of us. Yeah, thank you.
Great, great, good advice. Now I would like to invite Sanjanan to express our vote of thanks on behalf of Indian students and Indian student embassies. So Sanjana, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much. And it was such a motivational advice you gave to us. So just to summarize what we learned from you today is like you are like such a like self-made leader, and we should definitely give back to community. And like as you have been working with girls students and motivating them by conducting various webinars and internship programs specifically for women. And as you also mentioned, there is definitely a need for female mentors in STEM field. And they also covered the importance of LinkedIn, networking, joining different technical organizations in your schools, and defining your long-term goals and actively working on it, just like doing certifications. And also I would just like to thank you so much on behalf of Indian student in US and Indian Student Hub for sharing the challenges you faced and your inspiring journey. Thank you so much, and it was an honor for us to have you with us today.
Thank you, Sanjana. Thank you, Ashpreet. Thank you, Embassy of India, and the student cell. Thank you. It was a great opportunity for me to talk to you both. You people are being a wonderful, wonderful people, wonderful, inspiring, STEM journey representatives. It was a very nice talking to you both. Thank you so much.